Okay, guys, appreciate you coming out. It's on to week 2, the Akron season. Got a chance to watch a lot of college football this weekend, and obviously watched that Ohio State game. I thought Akron played really well. Defensively, they present some issues. Their scheme is one that is a little bit different. Reminds me a little bit of when Jim Leonard was at Wisconsin, that kind of scheme. I know there's some connection there with the coordinator. Player-wise, they're stout up front. Defensively, inside, they're big. They're 300-plus pounds. And then 19, the Nunley kid, I think is active off the edge. Number 40, I think McCoy's his name, the linebacker. He's a good player. Very active. In the secondary, I think their DBs are pretty good. The safety, I think it's number 9, Lewis. He's an active player, a long, good-looking kid. And then Golden Nelson, number 3. I thought he showed up. The kid who I think is a kind of a ball hawk is 24, the nickelback. I believe his name is Lewis. So they have what I thought very active defense. They gave Ohio State. You look at the score and say, well, they didn't give them they gave them some problems up front, what they were doing defensively. So we're going to have to really work hard to be able to move the ball. When you look at the offense, their quarterback, Finley, number 10, I thought he was doing some good things, and then he got injured. So I don't know what the status will be. Someone that we're very familiar with, Taj Bullock, who's a New Jersey kid, was playing in a 2-quarterback system. And then when he got hurt, Taj became the sole quarterback. I thought he did a good job. He's a very athletic guy that presents problems both running and throwing. So we're going to have our hands full there. I thought their tight end, 88, can't remember his name, Newell maybe. I thought he's a big kid and does some good things. And then number 4, I forget his name, Golden maybe. You can see he's speed. He's their speed guy at the receiver position. And then the offensive line is big, 300-pound plus across the board. Now the center might not be, depending who plays, but the guards and the tackles are big. So, Joe Moorhead is an accomplished coach. Joe is, we've competed with Joe when he was at Connecticut, and then again at Penn State when I was at Ohio State. He's an excellent coach. His teams are always well coached. They always have some wrinkles that you're not ready for. So I said already, defensively, schematically, they present some issues. Offensively, Joe's always going to have them prepared. So that's what we're up against, and we gotta take care of our business. Opening game, we learned a lot about our team. We're learning a lot about our team, and that's what early season's about. You figure out where you're good enough, where you're not, try to make some adjustments. I thought our guys, as I mentioned Thursday night, they chopped through the game. It wasn't smooth. They just kept chopping through it and ultimately, succeeded. Now we're headed on to the Akron season, and everything we got will be poured into this season and see where it leaves us. I mentioned it late in the press conference on Thursday, but I thought our student section was awesome. I thought it was a force. And I think that, quite frankly, they had a lot of fun. But now they've set the standard. And just like, I always say around here, the standard is the standard. Well, the student section set the standard. We need them, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again Saturday. I really think our whole crowd are starting to find their collective voice. And this could get interesting. If we can do our part, I think our fans are going to do their part. So I'm excited about that. So with that, open it up for questions.
Still with Kaj Sanders, what did he show you in the spring and then in training camp that allowed him to continue to improve and then earn that starting spot the other day?
Yeah, that's a good question. Kaj is a very gifted athlete, right? When you watch him play in high school, and even now, he could be playing on the offensive side of the ball. He's that kind of athlete. We think that safety's his best position, but he's fast, he's athletic, he's got instincts, and he's just got to learn. The only thing he lacks is experience. So he'll keep getting that and hopefully continue to get better and better.
You mentioned Taj Bullock, being familiar with him, his story as a New Jersey guy. What did you learn about him, and did you personally recruit him as a high school prospect?
We did, yeah. We were involved in the recruitment. He ended up going to Virginia Tech, but yeah, he's a St. Peter's Prep kid, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's very tough. He is a tough, hard worker. Yeah. I got to see his dad. His dad was at the 7-on-7 this summer, and we were talking a little bit. But I always had a lot of respect for Taj, the way he carries himself, the way he approaches the game. So again, I don't know who's going to be, who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to play what, but we'll be ready for both.
Coach, what specifically is something that Rutgers can improve on against Akron?
Oh, that list is a long, long list. Yeah, we have a laundry list of things we have to improve on. Special teams wise, we had new people kicking off, new person long snapping, new person punting. So we had some glitches there we have to improve on. We had a new person returning, a true freshman, in Ben Black. And as you go back and look at it, Ben had an opportunity there that we just didn't quite see it correctly, but he will eventually. And when he does, he'll be a force. So we have a lot of things special teams wise we got to work on. We missed 2 real opportunities in the punt block game, which we can't afford to do, right? We spend time on it, we got to cash in on it. Offensively, I think we learned more about our offensive line. We learned more about our receiving core. Obviously, we have a new quarterback, so we learned more about what it's like to go under pressure with him. We've been in practice and things, but it's always different during the game. And then defensively, I think we learned about some young linebackers. We learned about a young safety, to Chris's point, and then we learned about our young linebackers. With both our starters down, DJ DeBomi stepped in, as well as Moses Walker and some others. Timmy Heinz-Peter stepped in there. Abram Wright stepped in there. So it was good to see that. Up front, you got a chance to see some young guys jump in there and play a little bit. So we learned a lot. We know we have a lot to work on. We were out there last night practicing, which one of the benefits of a Thursday game. Now the players are off today. Today is a big day because tomorrow they start school. And that's when things get really interesting. For the whole month of August, really, end of July, month of August, has just been football. And now here comes, at Rutgers, as I say to you guys all the time, it's quite a challenge. It's a challenging school, one of the top schools in America, and our guys have to compete. And I'm really proud of the way they have competed after summer school. Again, we continue to set new highs. We had the highest team GPA cumulative in the history of Rutgers football, and that's something that I'm very proud of. And we just got to keep going. And as we start classes now tomorrow, it's a whole new semester. It's just like football, right? You're only as good as your last play or your last class, and we got to make sure our guys understand that.
Greg, you guys had 14 pressures against Howard, 1 sack. Are you concerned with the sack numbers, or is it a matter of continuing that level of pressure and turning those into sacks?
Yeah, certainly concerned. That quarterback is as mobile as any quarterback we'll see in the Big Ten. I mean, he could really move. There was a couple times he got into space with our guys, and we couldn't catch him. Right, so he's a very talented young man, but we're going to see another one this week, right? So it seems to be the way college football is headed, and you better have a good plan, and you got to get them on the ground, and hopefully you get them on the ground and get the ball out. So yeah, we have to get better in that area. I think overall defensive front, we played solid, but we didn't play up to our expectation, and we will.
I know it's only one game, but I guess what's your assessment so far of the way the O-line performed, and now that there's some continuity at that position, at that unit, how valuable is that? And how do you kind of feel like that's fueling any improvement that group might have?
Well, I think as an O-line, as the pieces play together more and more, they're a cohesive unit. And there was a couple times Howard did some really good things schematically on defense. I thought they did a great job. And plug some gaps. Some of the blitzes, they showed one and came in other areas. So hats off to them. But I think our guys did a good job of picking up a lot of stuff. and passing it off, and that's all communication related. That's all being comfortable with one another. So now, can we keep getting better each and every week? That's going to be the key. And can you keep your group healthy? Can those 5 guys keep showing up each week? Because if they can, they really get into a groove as one.
Antoine Raymond, what did you see from him, that performance? Can you just kind of take us through unusual way to get here, right? Early as he was.
Well, you're right. Antoine Raymond, I thought, was very impressive, but we've seen that. We've seen that in the summer in training camp. But very interesting way he came. He was at Clearwater Academy down in Florida, and they dropped their program. So kind of the guys were all scrambling, and we knew, or we came to know that he was going to be eligible to graduate, and if he wanted to reclass and come out in 24, we had a scholarship available for him, and he decided to do that. He and his mom, and so excited. She and his sister and his girlfriend, they all came down to the game, and as I was leaving late Thursday night after doing a lot of recruits and things, they were still here, and it was great to see just the joy on their face. That's the fun part of college coaching, is you see the families just so involved, invested, and enjoying the success of their sons or their brothers or their boyfriend, and that's the pure part of it that keeps a guy like me coming back for more, because it was really cool to see. So now he's got a lot of work to do, but he's a talented young man.
Troy Rainey was unavailable last game. It seemed like he was having a nice summer. What's his status, and what can you update there?
Yeah, I'm going to, just for the rest of the year, so you guys know, I'm going to just defer to the availability report. If there's a season-ending injury, I'll let you know, because I know that's something that you got to, is a timely deal. But other than that, I think the availability report kind of cleans it up for me. And it, again, it'll be a competitive disadvantage until we get into Big Ten play, because Akron's not required to do it, but we are 2 hours before kickoff. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that. So that's something that I'll lean into is our kind of way to communicate injuries and things.
2 quick ones on quarterback. I'll ask them separately so they don't get mucked up. What does it do for you when you have a quarterback that can complete? Ethan completed a majority of his passes. What does it do for you when you have a quarterback that is efficient, accurate in the passing game? How does that open up the offense?
Well, I agree. I thought Ethan was efficient in his passing, and it makes you more confident to throw the football, for sure. But it allows you to have kind of I know for Kirk, it allows him to kind of be able to ham and egg the play calling a little bit more, which, each week's different depending on what the defense gives you. But, it's one game. Let's not get in front of ourselves. But I was pleased with not only the way he played, Ethan, but the way he prepared all training camp and in the spring. I think he's done a good job of coming in here as a newcomer and just kind of putting his head down and working. And by doing that, I think he's established himself as a leader in our program.
It might have been matchup dependent. No passes beyond 20 yards, no real deep attempts in this game. Are you guys confident that when that time comes that you do need some deep passes stretching the field, that Ethan is going to be able to do that for you guys? Yeah,
I'm very confident of that. And we had a couple called. We got pressured on one of them, actually on 2 of them, and then a third one, they kind of threw a coverage at us that wasn't, didn't really fit for the play call. So, but we'll push the ball down the field. Ethan's very good at doing that, so I'm not concerned. But you're right. We gotta hit them. Right? Until you hit them, they're not a threat. Well, guys, I appreciate it. And again, I always appreciate the way you cover our team. So thanks for coming out, and we'll see you later this week.